Dillian Whyte defeats Oscar Rivas via unanimous decision. Let's talk about it. This was a good heavyweight fight. I enjoyed it. Watched it. It was a good fight. You know, I knew this was gonna be a good fight. I knew this wasn't gonna be a walkover. I knew this was gonna be a Tom Schwartz. This wasn't gonna be a lackluster performance. It was gonna be a tough fight for Dillian, but also a tough fight for Oscar Rivas. Now, what did I pick up from this fight? From the first bell, my personal thoughts, when I saw Whyte's ring walk, I thought, and I kind of got this from Hatman Strikes Back, so shout out to Hatman. But what I tended to look at is, I believe that Dillian Whyte has recently maybe overtrained. I know he looked very, very, very heavy in the original weigh-in, but I just thought that he just seemed very, I don't know, physically he looked a little bit drained to me. You know, maybe he's overtrained. I know in Loughborough they've talked about him overtraining sometimes, but for me, from the ring walk, he looked a little bit, I don't know, for me, I just felt something was a bit tight, a bit stiff, in my personal opinion. I just looked and I thought he looked a little bit drained. But anyway, the fight starts. First round, Rivas comes in like a bull. You know, he comes in sharp, and one thing about Rivas is he was not intimidated in this fight. The show did not get to him. The crowd did not get to him. Dillian Whyte putting a on him on the weigh-in did not get to him. He was not intimidated or scared or had not an ounce of fear for Dillian Whyte. He did his normal thing. He put his tight guard up and he came in and he was throwing some sharp jabs. I mean, I talked about in my pre-fight that he's got a sharp jab, and this man's jab was powerful. You know, he was hitting him. You know, when Rivas hits you, you can see in his face, he puts so much power in him and so much energy. It's like, you know those guys that do a lot of weight training and you can see in their face they tense so much when they're pulling the weight just to get that last rep. Like, he looked so tense when he threw the punch. It's just like, maybe the punch isn't powerful, but just the whole build-up to the punch can kind of throw you off. And he was trying to throw a lot of overhand rights at Dillian. He definitely won the first round for me. He pushed Dillian back. The second round is where the whole fight changed for me in terms of Rivas' mentality, because he got hit with a fantastic straight right hand that for me put the beast to bed. He literally wound Rivas back in, humbled him, put him at bay, got him thinking, because obviously he didn't feel Dillian Whyte's power up until then, obviously, and he felt the power. You know, he rode the storm, but at the same time, from that round on, he was quite circumspect. Yeah, he was coming forward, but he wasn't as aggressive. He wasn't landing with the same shots. Dillian Whyte used the jab, did really well, and I knew the jab would be his bread and butter, his best friend. Double jab was good. Dillian Whyte's form looked good. He looked really technically good. I thought he could have got Rivas out there if he amped the tempo a little bit, but then he came in 10 stone 2. Was that maybe a bit too heavy? I don't know. But I thought if he amped the pressure, because don't get it twisted, the pace against Joseph Parker was way faster than this one. Way faster. You know. But I thought he could have amped the pace maybe. But listen, Dillian Whyte was throwing good jabs. Don't get it twisted. Rivas was still in it. Dillian Whyte was winning most of the round, but Rivas was still in it because he had the look of somebody who was just waiting for something to come. He looked hungry, and he looked like he was getting ready for a shot. You know, I said in my pre-fight that Dillian had to stay off the ropes to avoid any problems, because Rivas in the center doesn't really land clean, because like Paulie Malignaggi was throwing some really good points, because Rivas, he throws a lot of tension in the shots, but they're very basic, generic shots. They're a lot of 1-2s. I watched the whole fight and I thought to myself, I did not see a very powerful, or even, I don't know if anyone can tell me, I'm watching it again, any good left hook from Rivas. I mean, his left hand in terms of hooks, he didn't throw any hooks. It's straight right hand counters or straight jab. You know, not many uppercuts. You know, he didn't really work Dillian's body that much. So yeah, I was a little bit intrigued about that. You know, I thought he didn't vary his punches that much. But going into the rounds, Dillian controlled the jab. He kept Rivas at a distance. He threw in a lot of good body shots. You know, he was really taking the wind out of Rivas. You know, and I said in my pre-fight review on this fight Now, Rivas has stamina issues. That excess amount of muscle is not going to help him, you know. And Dillian threw some good right uppercuts as well, to be honest. He landed in. But Rivas has got a very good guard, you know. He's very hard to land clean on because he's very short. So, like, I looked at this fight and I thought, you know, it's going to be hard to stop him because he's very tentative. Unless he tries to go for a shot and Dillian counters him. Because the thing about Dillian is, I felt like Rivas was very wary about his counter left hook. And every time he would come in, you could see Dillian was about to throw a large counter. And it's crazy how, as soon as you make a shot, Dillian throws a counter so quick. He missed, obviously, in this fight. He didn't land it. But you can see that every time he missed that, he would do it quick. Like, he would just, boom. Every time he got a shot, woof, left it, woof, left it. You know, so that is a dangerous punch. But styles make fights. Rivas came in. He bobbed and moved quite good. He moved his head quite well, actually, in this fight. But it was around the 9th round. You know, Rivas' team looked very animated. You know, they were pumping the pressure. I mean, they said, you know, they were swearing at him. They said, listen, you need to start. Do you want this? Do you understand? The Teddy Atlas moment. You need to go for it. And that's what he did. He ran at Whyte, pushed him back. Looked like he landed an uppercut. At first, I thought it was a slip, but then I saw that he landed to the body. And I think that the uppercut to the body, it kind of was similar, not similar to the AJ one, but he landed the uppercut where Dillian didn't see it. But Dillian took the uppercut quite well, but then he had a body shot. And because he was kind of off balance anyway, near the ropes, Dillian went down. Didn't look badly hurt because he came back and was quite aggressive after that. And kind of pushed Rivas back a bit as well. But besides that, after that, Dillian Whyte coasted to a quite comfortable decision, jabbed his way out of it. He busted up Rivas' eye. Rivas was bleeding, swollen up in his eye. And there was this thing about Rivas having some kind of eye problem. I don't know if he's, you know, having this kind of eye problem in America. You know, and he looked visibly irritated with the jab. And in the 12th round, he tried to go for it a little bit near the ropes, but Dillian's guard was good. And you know, Rivas was strong, you know. Rivas was quite strong, you know. He pushed Dillian back. Oh, doing it. He pushed Dillian back a couple of times. But yeah, it was a good fight. He did what I expected him to do. He did what I expected him to do. So yeah, nothing to complain about really. It was a methodical, well structured performance. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it was a good performance from Dillian. You know, he controlled with the jab. The jab was his bread and butter. I thought he would use a bit more right uppercuts on the, you know, when Rivas was coming in on the inside. But yeah, he controlled the fight quite well. Nothing really to report on. So he's now the interim and the mandatory for Deontay Wilder's belt. He has to fight it by May the 18th. It's gonna be a tough fight. But you know, one thing about Dillian, he's very difficult to beat overall. You know, besides the first Derek Chisora fight, there's not even that. There's no fight where no one has conclusively defeated Dillian Whyte easy. Even in the AJ knockout, that wasn't easy. You know, no one has beaten Dillian Whyte or even given him a fight where he's dominated easily. You know, and then that's the problem. For Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, it's not going to be an easy fight. It's going to be a good fight. And where does Rivas go? Well, Rivas is a very top heavyweight. You know, he showed he's tough. He can stick in there, and I think he'd be good fights with Takam, Chisora. I mean, he's got a lot of options to go. You know, he's got a lot of options. He's just got to vary it up, and yeah. But I think he can definitely do something in the heavyweight division. But let me know what you guys thought. Did you expect this from Dillian? Did you not? I know a lot of people were speaking Rivas close to the fight. I always thought Dillian had it just because of the height and the reach advantage and the experience. You know, Dillian Whyte's been there, and yeah, you know, he's a tough guy to beat. Very tough to beat. you know. But yeah, the training thing needs to be addressed. You know, he needs to maybe slow down on the training, not overtrain as much. But yeah, it was a very good performance in Dillian Whyte. I'm gonna review the other fights as well. So, but let me know what you thought about this fight.